Hello everyone, welcome back to another session on Databricks. Today we will see how we can understand the size of each file stored in your storage, either it is a Gen 2 or any storage that you are using it. This is very useful if you forget to optimize your data while storing into the lake, and later you need to come back and check for each data set how much is the file size you have it. This will help you to merge the file or split the file based on the size. So the optimal size, so we found some of our Synapse serverless table is not performing well. Then we had discussion with Microsoft and they came up with some optimization. The optimal size recommended by Microsoft is between 150 MB to 1 gig of file size. But previously it was different. It was something like 80 MB to 100 MB, something like that. So most of the data set we stored according to the previous recommendation. Now we need to go back and check the file size and make sure that all the data set is optimal. So if your file system is grown up very high, it is very difficult to go and check manually. So rather you need to create your own program to understand the file size, as Microsoft or Databricks both didn't give any kind of inbuilt tool or service to understand the size. So I can show you what exactly I'm talking about here using the Excel. So let's open the Excel. So let's say I have a root folder. Inside root folder, I have another um, folders inside. So raw, processed, and analytical. And inside here, I have folder 1, file 1, file 2, and folder 2, right? So same way here, I have a folder 1, then file 1, file 2. Here I have folder 3, folder 4, file 1, file 2. So again, let me take this little bit down. Here I have file 1, file 2, and again here I have file 1, right? So similar way I have multiple folders. So here it's a tree structure. I have files, right? So basically we need to understand the size of each file. So here you may be getting the file, but if it is a folder, this will be 0 size, right? So this is what I want to understand. And for example, for this folder, let's say this is a data set, and this data set is having multiple files, and the total size should not exceed 1 gig of file size, or not total, one particular file size. It should not exceed 1 gig of file, or it should not be lesser than 150 MB. So that's what I'm trying to understand, right, using the code. So let's go back to the code and see how we can do it automatically, and very simple process, right? So for a demonstration, you can see that I'm giving root folder as raw, and I have multiple folder here: Excel, Google, government data, Microsoft, etc. And inside each data set, what is the minimum file and maximum file size we have it. That's what I'm going to check it. Now for this one, the processed metadata I'm storing in this particular path, that is processed, and size matters. Sorry, that is for the removal. This is the actual creation of the folder. Like you can use dbutils fs.mkdirs and give the file path. All right, now we have the path, and if you want, you can check any data is available or not. fs.ls provide this path here and see what it result. So the result is like blank because we don't have any files there. Now yeah, you can ignore this portion because as I said, the file folder size is 0. So I thought of using OS functionality to check is directory, whether the path is directory or not, but somehow it is not working, so I just kept it like that. Now go to the main program. So here I am giving all the list of files into one list, Python list, and this I'm considering as a root, right? So for each record in this file, it will check the size is 0 or not. If the size is 0, then I'm adding the name as a folder and passing this folder here into the main function, right? If the size is not 0, for example, if you have this is 0 and the same grain you have two more files, right? So the size of these files is not 0, right? In that case, you what I'm saying is the folder is root, meaning if any file stored in this particular root, I can store it as root, or you can give it as the folder name if you want. And once you are ready with the folder name, call the main function and pass the path and the folder in it. Okay. Now, before executing this, let's go to the main function and understand what it is doing. So this is the main function, main iteration, getting the path and folder. First, I'm listing out all the files using dbutils and passing the path, right? And declare one list, and I'll be adding the values in the loop function. I'll tell you why. Opened the for loop function, iterating through each of the records that I captured in this list and checking if the file size is 0 and the file name not starting with underscore, because the file name starting with underscore is basically like the program is succeeded or committed, all those details which is not required for this calculation and which will not be part of our table or the data file. But if it is 0, again I'm capturing the folder name and calling this function. It's a recursive function, right? If it is 0, then I'm passing this folder name and the file path captured here, and that will come back to here again. So it will go one path inside, one level inside, then again check. Then it will not find out any folder in the next level. Then in that case, there will be data file. So what it will do, if it find data file, then it declared the schema. The schema contains 4 columns, that is folder, file path, name, and the size. And the it add the values into the list. So name is the list, I'm just appending that value, that is folder, which I got it from the function parameter. Then file dot path, that is from here, file is one record in the list of in the list. Then file dot name, file dot size. So we got all the required data here. Then we have to convert that into RDD. How we can convert? Spark context parallelize the names. So this is the list. This list is converted into RDD. Then we are converting this RDD into data frame, Python data frame. So while converting RDD into data frame, I'm passing the schema that I defined here, right? So we have the RDD schema. Using that, we are converting that into Python data frame. Now, whatever the result came, we are just inserting that DF into one specific path, file path, and storing as a delta table, and it is an append mode, so it will always add new values into this uh, path, right? So let's execute this and go back to the main function. This is the main function. Let me execute this. It may take time because this cluster is very small, because it's a free edition, right? It's a community edition, so the cluster is a very small one. But in real scenario, you will have a bigger cluster, and it can iterate through all the folders and files very quickly. All right, so our program executed successfully. Now let's come here and check the path, how many files it got stored, and you can see all the files here. So we have everything required in this path. Now you can read all this data using spark.read format. In the I know that it is a delta format. I'm showing the path and getting all the data into this data frame. So you got all the result here. Either you can use this data frame to find out minimum, maximum, or you can manipulate the data using the data frame. And for those who are very familiar with SQL, we can create a table on top of this delta path, right? It's very simple to create it. Just create table name using delta, give the location name. So this will act as a table. Now you can see, um, you can query the result using the normal table. So you have the data, folder, file path, name, and the size. And but for me, I need to understand for each folder what is the minimum size of the file and maximum size of the file. So you can just group this minimum and maximum based on the folder, and I just filtered out the size not equal to 0 because I don't care about the files with the file size is 0. So let's execute this. Yep. So this is how you can find out the minimum and maximum size. So look at this folder. So you can see government data, JSON, Apple, Blackshare, Microsoft, all these folders that I showed you at the beginning of the uh, code, right? So you have all the folder captured here. All right. So this is what I want to show you in this session. If you have any comments, please let me know, and I'll come up with more videos. Till then, goodbye. If you would like to receive more such videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you would like to connect with me, I have provided my details here, my email and LinkedIn. So thank you very much.